Well, guys, I've just got home, and it's rumoured that it's actually going to be clear tonight. I didn't know that. And guess what? It is clear. I don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to get setting up. Alright guys, how you all doing? Wow, this is a pretty rushed sort of start setup. So, I've got the Skywatcher Star Adventure GTI out tonight. I haven't used it in quite some time, and I know I've had some comments even about the GTI mount. So, tonight I think is a great night to get this out because I had no idea it was going to be clear tonight. The past few days have been really bad. And the weather has been a bit like Victoria. And I'm sorry all your Victorians out there. You've just had like all sorts of seasons in one day, from sunshine to strong winds to raining and even some thunderstorms. So yeah, it's been pretty crazy. Now, we're going to do something a bit different tonight, and the reason for that is right here. This is my new Nikon 24 to 120 Z S lens. It arrived actually this morning. Yeah, this morning. So what a crazy day I'm sort of having tonight. Anyway, so I'm going to shoot with this. And I was sort of thinking, what can I shoot? It's going to be nice and wide field because you tend to see a lot of really nice images at a focal length of about 135mm. I believe Samyang do a lens at about 135mm, and a lot of astrophotographers use it. So I'm thinking around the 120mm mark should yield some really nice details with my Astromotive Z7. But like me, and like everything I do, I like to complicate or make things maybe a little bit more difficult than what they need to be. So I'm going to shoot a mosaic. We're going to try and shoot a mosaic. I figure we're going to go from the constellation, the Southern Cross, all the way to Eta Carina, and see how we go with that. And we're going to do all this via the ASI Air. Now, I've got the ASI Air Mini, which is what I'm going to be using tonight, and I'm going to be also using something else. But what else do I have? I have my USB G-heater strap, and we're going to throw some filters in as well. So yeah, I'm going to keep setting up, and I'll explain what I'm doing in a moment. Now, to give you a bit of an idea as to what we've got going on right now, I've got my my Nissi filter holder, as well as my Nissi light pollution filter. So we're going to whack that on tonight, see if that helps with some of the light pollution, because we are sort of shooting in that direction. We're under Bortle 6 skies, so let's see. There is going to be another filter I'm going to add to this, but I'm not going to tell you exactly what that filter is until later on. I want to make sure it works first. Anyway, so the next step is to connect up the ASI Mini. Now I haven't really used this much, so going to be quite interesting because I am really used to the triplets, which I will not be getting out tonight because they are undergoing some servicing, modifications, maybe a new mount. Anyway, for those that follow my channel, you might be thinking, what's going on there? Well, anyway, you'll find out later on. Anyway, I gotta keep setting up. Alright, so here's the little ASI Mini. It's really small, really compact. So we are just going to attach it via some rubber bands on the tripod. I am really not set up for this. Okay, so I've got the power from the GTI. It's going to go into here. Like so. I need to get the power cable, the USB cable for my camera. And what else? I got my G-hitch strap, so I'll connect it up soon. And we need some power from here to my battery pack. So I'm going to go inside. I'll be right back. Alright, so we've got the iPad, the dirty iPad. What I mean by dirty, guys, is fingerprints everywhere. Okay, we have battery for the Z7. I might change that because I don't think it's quite, I think it's about halfway. This was about halfway, but I've had this a little bit on charge, so hopefully we've got a bit more power. We have the USB cable for the camera. Now the ASI Mini only comes with a with USB 2 ports instead of the USB 3, so it's going to be interesting to see how this goes with such a high megapixel, high file camera. And what else do we need? And power. We've got power here, so yeah. And also forgive me if the focus is going in and out. I'm also testing a new lens for my Z30, which I used to record these videos on. It's a Viltrix, something like that. It's a 13mm f1.4 lens, so yeah, cool so far. Does have the eye autofocus function, which is pretty cool. It's unfortunate that Nikon don't have a great deal of Z lenses for the DX cameras, so yeah, we'll try it out. Power. Right, I think we're just about ready. Alright, so we've polar aligned. I switched the camera to DX mode to give it just a little bit more reach with the 120mm lens, so that way I can get my polar alignment a little bit more spot on. So when I switch to full frame in a, it's going to be a wider field of view, still at 120mm, but that's going to give me a little bit more leeway in the whole tracking side of things. So you know how the whole perception is when you shoot a nightscape. If you shoot a 14mm nightscape, you can shoot a longer exposure than you can if you use a 50mm lens for a nightscape. So very similar sort of thing. Also, I'm not using any guiding because this is a very rough setup and the GTI is not set up for any of this sort of stuff, and I really got to get that started. But anyway, we are all ready to go shooting this mosaic. I'm going to be shooting 7 panels or 6 panels in total, and the first lot is going to be I'm going to get this out of the way. It's a 60-second exposures, ISO 1600, and I'm only going to be stacking 10. Now this is all going to be for the stars, okay? Then I'm going to remove a filter, and actually I'm not going to even tell you guys exactly what sort of filters I'm using. So you already know one of the filters. I'm going to let you decide in the comments below on what other filter you think I'm using for this setup. And then I'm going to take that filter off, and then I'm going to reshoot it again, and this time I'm going to be using a lot more images to stack in between each panel, but I think it's going to look pretty cool. Yeah, so we'll see, and let's get cracking because it's getting a little bit late. Hey guys, so I want to give you a quick update as to how the imaging session is sort of going. I had a few issues at the beginning where it wasn't plate solving, and even though I set the focal length to 120mm, it still wouldn't plate solve. So what I did is then changed it to 0mm in the ASI app, and it was able to plate solve then. So I don't know really what quite is going on there, but it's all working, it's all imaging away. I did say I was using ISO 1600. I'm not, I'm actually using ISO 3200. So there seems to be a lot in the ASI that I have completely forgotten how to use. But I'm really digging, that's right, I just said digging, how this image is coming together. Now we're just about finished the mosaic, the first part of the mosaic. I'm going to remove this particular filter and then reshoot the mosaic again using 60-second exposures, ISO 3200, and currently I'm shooting a stack of 10. I'm going to change that to a stack of 20, between 20 and 30, and let that go for the rest of the night. What happens after that? Hopefully it all works out. I've never used the mosaic option before in the ASI app, so I'm hoping everything joins together. Anyway, this is going to be pretty interesting. So yeah, as I head back inside where it's a lot more warmer, it's getting a bit cooler now. That summer's sort of gone. There's the jackets on, the face jackets on. Yeah, trying to keep myself as warm as possible. But I'll go in there, set up the next imaging session run, and then we'll hopefully stitch all the images together, and fingers crossed it works. Alright, let's stop the video right here because things didn't work out. As you can tell by the beginning of this video, I was absolutely, I had this idea, this vision on how this image was going to turn out. I was excited, but a series of things went wrong looking back at the video, even when editing it. One of those things was the dew heater strap. I put that on after I'd focused. So putting it on put the focus out a little bit. And not just that, I was having issues with the plate solving. When I took off the Starsoft filter, which was the secondary filter I was mentioning in the video, it didn't, I got that focus back, and took the image and it just did not want to plate solve at all. I went from detecting about 3,000 stars with the star soft filter to detecting like 22,000 stars. So I'm wondering if the field of view was too large for the ASI Air to be able to plate solve, which I find that kind of strange because when I was shooting or when I was doing the polar alignment, it could plate solve then. So I'm just a little confused. Maybe there wasn't enough stars, or maybe there's some sort of different setting in the mosaic format or the auto run format that doesn't like a lot of stars in the image. I don't know. Like, and there's no settings. You can't control the amount of exposure and all that to do with the image for the plate solve itself. So yeah, I will have to try it again with the 120mm lens and see how we go. But I really don't want to show you the image. I mean, the concept sort of worked, where I want to use the star soft filter to enhance the stars, especially for the Southern Cross. So that worked. What didn't work is refocusing, getting that focus, getting those images tack sharp. So that way I had a decent background. And then what I was going to do is I was going to extract the stars out of the well-focused, well-stacked one, and then insert the stars from the star soft images, and produce a really nice image overall. So that was the vision. It didn't end up that way at all. So yeah. Anyway, I will leave you with the picture, the image that I took, and yeah, hopefully the next time we produce a much better image, more to what I imagined I was going to capture in the first place. Well, if this is the first video of mine that you've seen, please check out some of my others, and if you like them, don't forget to hit that subscribe. If you've got any comments for me, leave them down below, and don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Anyway guys, enjoy the rest of this video, and until next time, take it easy. See you.